The battlefield still burned behind me. The sky was a churning sea of violet storms, the kind that made your skin buzz with static if you stood still too long. The war between humans and the Zirathai had lasted 8 long years, and though I'd been a soldier since the first drop pod hit their soil, I never thought I'd be the one walking through the gates of their capital, alive. The war had ended not with victory, but with exhaustion. Both sides had bled enough to fill oceans, and when the last Zirathai citadel surrendered, I was among the few humans still standing on their soil. So when they said the alien king wanted to see me personally, I assumed it was either a trap or an execution disguised as a ceremony. The Zirathai were taller than humans, elegant silver-skinned beings with eyes that shimmered like liquid mercury. Their capital was a living city, walls grown from biometal that pulsed faintly with light. As I walked down the long corridor toward the throne room, I couldn't shake the feeling that the city itself was breathing. 2 Zirathai guards flanked me, their armor smooth and glass-like. No one spoke a word until the massive doors opened and I was greeted by a wave of light. At the far end sat King Avanar, ruler of the Zirathai dominion. His body gleamed like polished steel, but his gaze carried a strange warmth, the kind that didn't belong to someone who had commanded armies. "Human," he said, his voice like thunder wrapped in silk. "You are called Captain Jalen Var, yes?" "Yes, your majesty." He studied me. "You saved many of my kind, including those who were not warriors." I remembered the incident. During a chaotic retreat, I'd chosen to rescue a group of Zirathai civilians trapped under falling debris, despite the fact that my own squad had begged me to leave them. My superiors had called it reckless compassion. King Avanar rose slowly, his long cape trailing behind him. "For such an act, the Dominion owes you more than words. You have earned a reward of honor, as decreed by the Zirathai Code." I nodded stiffly. "I didn't do it for a reward, sire." The king smiled faintly. "That is why it matters." He turned to his attendants and raised a hand. "Bring them." The chamber doors opened again, and 2 women stepped forward. Both were Zirathai, but unlike any I'd seen before. One had crystalline white hair, her eyes glowing faintly blue, her expression calm and unreadable. The other was darker-skinned, with faint gold patterns across her cheeks, markings of a warrior caste. They bowed before the king. "This," Avanar said, gesturing to the pale one, "is Lysara of the Mind Weavers, the one you shielded from falling plasma fire." He then motioned to the second. "And this is Calith of the Bladesworn, who lost her squad because she stayed to protect Lysara." Froze. I remembered both of them, barely. The chaos, the screams, the smoke. But I'd never expected to see them again. "They live because of you," the king continued. "And by the ancient law of the Zirathai, those whose lives are saved by another are bound to that one, unless released." "Bound," I repeated, uneasy. The king nodded solemnly. "They have chosen to serve you, to belong to you, in all that the code implies." The chamber went silent. My pulse spiked. I didn't ask for this," I said quickly. The king raised a hand. "Nor could you have. But they have asked it of me." Lysara stepped forward first. Her voice was soft, like wind through glass. "You did not hesitate to risk your life for ours, human. In my people's belief, that act forges a life bond, deeper than command, beyond duty." Calith's tone was sharper, her stance strong. "We owe you more than thanks. If we are to serve, we serve with our blades, our lives, and our loyalty." I looked between them. 2 alien women kneeling in front of me, offering something I didn't even understand. And above us, the alien king simply said, "Then it is done." Middle, the bonds of loyalty. Days passed in silence. The war had left both species raw, suspicious. The Dominion cities were rebuilding, and human diplomats were negotiating peace. Meanwhile, I was trapped in the strange in-between, technically honored but also watched closely. Lysara and Caliph stayed near me at all times, their loyalty absolute. They spoke to me like I was their commander, their guardian, and something else, something I couldn't define. One night, while I was examining a data console in my quarters, Lysara approached quietly. "You avoid us," she said softly. "I don't avoid you," I replied, though we both knew I did. "I just don't know how to act. Where I'm from, this kind of bond doesn't exist." She tilted her head. "Among humans, gratitude is fleeting. Among us, it becomes a promise." Caliph entered the room, armor half donned, blade at her hip. "He doesn't understand. He thinks we're prisoners." "I don't think that," I said. "Then what do you think we are?" she challenged. I hesitated. "Two people who deserve to live their own lives. You shouldn't be bound to someone because of a moment in battle." Caliph smirked faintly. "You think freedom is always about leaving. Sometimes it's about choosing to stay." That shut me up. Lysara's expression softened. "You carry guilt, Jalen Var. Perhaps because you survived when others did not. But our bond is not a punishment. It's a bridge. A bridge to something your kind has not yet learned to understand." I didn't realize it then, but she meant more than loyalty. She meant connection across fear, across bloodlines, across galaxies. Conflict. Peace talks broke down 2 weeks later. A human admiral accused the Zirathai of hiding weapons. The Zirathai countered that humans were spying. Within hours, both fleets were on standby, one spark away from restarting the war. I was summoned by King Avanar. "You stand between two fires," he said gravely. "The humans trust you because you are one of them. My people trust you because you saved ours. You can end this before blood spills again." "How?" I asked. "By truth," Lysara said from behind him. "There are forces here that want war to continue, human and Zirathai alike." Caliph threw a data crystal onto the table. "We found this near the southern defense wall. Someone planted explosives to make it look like humans attacked first." "Habitat." I clenched my fists. "If we can prove this." Avanar nodded. "Then you may save both species once more." That night we went into the heart of the Dominion Citadel, the old war vaults deep underground. The three of us moved in silence, guided only by Lysara's telepathic senses. The vaults were guarded by drones, machines still loyal to the war's old masters. As we descended, I realized how far I'd come, from soldier to peacekeeper, from enemy to something else entirely. Then the alarm screamed. Energy blasts tore through the walls. Saboteurs, Zirathai extremists who believed humans were poison. Caliph drew her blade instantly. "Stay behind me." "Not happening," I said, grabbing a fallen blaster. We fought side by side, me firing at the drones, Caliph cutting through the attackers, Lysara shielding us with shimmering psionic fields. The air burned. The ground cracked. One blast hit the ceiling, and debris came down in a thunderous wave. Lysara screamed as I shoved her aside, the impact throwing me to the floor. Pain exploded through my leg.